before us, so I could kind of overhear his halftime speech, and it was about system and formation, and we're going to change from a 4-4-2 to a 4-3-3, and then right back needs to overlap. And I go, okay, now let's watch the first 5 minutes after he had that speech. And those kids could not trap a ball. So all that talk about tactics is, at the end of the day, it's BS. A formation will only be as good as the players executing it, period.
Yeah, that's I couldn't say any better than what you just said. I mean, everyone wants to do every coach, a lot of the ones that I deal with it, they want to do it's fun to like do tactics and be part of the game.
Sure.
But
you feel like got control.
If you don't have if you don't have technical players, it's not going to matter.
No. And then you're better off focusing on the technique, even during the games. Lose the game, but focus. Hey, Johnny, remember that ball you brought down on top of your with an escalator trap in the middle of the field? That was awesome.
Yeah. What else, Ryan?
From Raphael also, what is the best way to get into the European leagues?
Youth or adult? That would be a question.
Ooh.
I would assume it'd be youth, but like the transition, like, Barcelona Academy, they'll send players to Liverpool, all over Europe.
Yeah. Well, I told you 2 years ago, 2019, I took 5-6 players to my old pro club, Fortuna Sittard. They trained with them for a week. One, Ty, was invited back. He's an O2, good player. He was invited back. And then, of course, COVID broke out, so he's now waiting to go back. So it is possible. I would say, if you're talking about development to be good enough to go to Europe, make sure that you do all the things Dave and I just spoke about today. And as far as connections, make sure you you don't get led by the sales pitch of the big mega clubs that promise golden mountains. Just maybe ask for somebody who's got real connections in the pro milieu in Europe and has tangible contacts that are actually wanted to take a look at a player.
I know if, not to put you in an awkward position, but I will. If there's a player that is good enough, whether they play with Rick or not, Rick can make one phone call to Barcelona to go through a tryout process.
Barcelona, Arizona
Academy, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And that is, if you're gonna leave, me as a coach or Rick, if you're gonna leave a place where there is a coach that's focusing on development, a good place to leave is Barcelona Academy. If you're on the first team, where it's paid for, they're housing, they're feeding you, they're investing in you, and all the kids are in that same situation, that makes sense. And I know I do. I know Rick would. We would love to send kids over there all day, but it's legit. It's like there's California players all over the United States.
Do they have B, C, and D teams in
there? They have a second team, and it's expensive. But it's kind of like, I hope they're not listening, but rich kids from New York and stuff are like, get out of my house, we're done with you kind of thing. It's boarding school for soccer.
Yep.
But
be careful with that.
Yeah. If you're 40, it's like 80,000 a year. It's no joke. So, it's expensive. Well, wouldn't you charge the same if someone to send you an average player?
Yeah, but then also call it what it is. It's a business and it's a for profit, and we're here to make money.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's fine if you say it like that.
Oh,
but don't say, hey, you got a real chance. Come over. Even if you're on a B team, you'll get exposed.
I don't know what they're saying, but they have the first team, and they do send players all over the world.
Yeah,
it's the real Barcelona. It's not the fake.
No,
it's
and
real.
Then a coach like you and me who has let's say I got a huge talent on one of my teams, and we really believe he's ready for the next step. Then you got to leave your ego at the door as well and lose a better player to a team that can actually bring him to the next level.
And I think it's a great transition to see if they can, because living on your own, without your parents and stuff like that.
How many times have failed because of that part?
Yeah.
The non-soccer part, what happens outside of the field.
Yeah. So I'm setting Jack to go do a Barcelona tryout and go through that process, because I want him to know what it looks like the rest of the country, and experience what it's like to
Experience, because
you know.
next time he'll handle trials better because he's
Yeah.
been there, done that.
I love experience, you know. And if he doesn't make it, which is highly likely he won't, because it's a business. Like, they're there to move kids on. They're supposed to be the best of the world.
Yeah.
And you need to go through those experiences, but fail and be okay. Like,
Yep.
I want Jack at Phoenix College. I want to win a JUCO national title. So
Nice.
I'm all about that. But providing opportunities, but also be honest and let the process happen.
Yeah.
So where are we at, Ryan? It is so hot in here.
It is very hot, and I don't have much else. I mean, a lot has happened, but I don't have much else noteworthy. You've got a lot of hellos.
Hello.
I've been filtering out. Sorry, commenters. I have to filter out stuff.
You mean nobody said that we don't know what we're talking about and hate us and we should get our heads examined?
No.
None of those comments? I would.
It's
have
only
expected
gotten
a
as
couple.
fiery as Augusto,
Yeah.
and he's just been pretty civil. So
Yeah.
Cool.
It's good. It's good to have the discussion. Not saying what we're saying.
yeah,
Is
absolutely.
we are under the torture of being on the sun right now, and it's flipping hot.
Son, it's
It's
7,
fine.
8 p.m.
I when I get air conditioning into our new podcast studio, I'll have you back.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
to do
shiny
that.
all over the place.
Yeah, it is hot and it's miserable, but we do it for you. We do it for you, the listener.
But before I forget,
Mm.
there was one question from one of my former players via Instagram. He knew I was going to come on your podcast. He said, and I can look it up, but I'm top of my head, something like, this is an 03, so he's U17, U18, and this is more a question for you, Dave, than for me. He asks, all these clubs that are selling the college showcases come to us because we go to these big college showcases elsewhere in the country. How real, I think the way he asked it was that, how does that increase my chances of ending up at a good college, or is it just another sales pitch and for-profit event?
It is fake as all get out. It's another part of that pay to play kind of thing, it's all money generated. A lot of those coaches, you know, the top coaches, they'll pay for them to fly out there so they can list them. Hey, so and so is gonna be here and all that, and then you get the local colleges that'll come there. You know, it's all by grand design to create this appearance of, oh my gosh, you know, it's college showcase and all this stuff. Oh, we got a real college coach. They pay that college coach to come over. If a college coach is flying on their own because they're going to look at a player, they go. I mean, Division I universities, when they go, they fly out and they'll go recruiting because they're looking at a certain player. So if you're going to go a college showcase and it's going to be successful, it's because you are networked with a coach
Prior to the event.
prior to the event, and that made sense. But
So going randomly,
you can't.
you got to be so super lucky that you're doing something brilliant at the exact moment that a coach is not standing with his back towards the field, but just happens to see you and is looking for that type of player in that position.
and not
Talking about the
and not
1%.
to put Rick on the in the fire again. Is the number one way to transfer on from club ball to college is through your club coach. It's if Rick called me and say, hey, I got a player for you, he's good, I'm gonna listen to that recommendation. I'm gonna go to the practice because he sold him in such he or she in such a way. I would go to evaluate, and if the player wasn't good, Rick would be banned from my contact. I would never take advice from him. Now I probably wouldn't let you know, but I would
Of
never
course
show
not.
up.
You would not believe me anymore.
Yeah,
Simple.
So
So you would not say, hey, Rick, this is a good player. You tell me this is a good player, but I see your team plays in the Open League Division 3. How on earth can that be a good enough player?
I wouldn't care if you told me the player could play.
Right. Which is more important than the division or standings.
I'm gonna go watch
Amen to that.
to verify, and then I'd take the next step. So it's relationships with I never go to the fields ever. High
That
school
right?
games, I don't go randomly looking. It's because I have a relationship with a coach or something that I trust that told me, hey, you got to look at this kid. Then I go. That's the only reason, because there's no way to go to college showcase and just like, where's the players? There's no way. It makes no sense to do it that way. 0 cents. Now, I can tell you this. I promise you this is what goes down. Before COVID, we had an ECNL event here. I was there watching a past player because they invited me. So many university coaches. So many. I couldn't believe how many were there. I saw every Utah coach, BYU, Utah Valley, Dixie State, all cross paths at one time. I'm like, oh my gosh, anyone see that? I'm like, the 3 Utah coaches all cross paths in between field reach 11. I'm like, it was packed. Why? It was February in Arizona, and they were loving the weather. They're there for the sun, and then they go hang out, and then they go
Bit of networking, tax write-off.
It's networking.
golf.
It's paid for. They get to see the sun or whatever, but it's fun to go on trips. I don't. None of that works.
And you've been coaching college how long now, Dave? Come on. 15, 20 years?
17 years.
So you know what you're talking about, obviously. You're not a newbie.
No, and that's what happens. Now, if they're going to a term they always go to or whatever, maybe the coach is calling, or the coach of the university is calling, like, some of the DOCs to ask, hey, who should I be looking at? It's all based on, are you good? And do you have a relationship with your coach, who is number one on networking you? It's not even a video, sending videos to coaches and stuff and paying for that service. It doesn't work. It's a phone call from coach, not from parent. It's not an email. Now, coach will typically say, hey, check out this email. There's a highlight video coming. The name is this. Follow it. Make sure. And then I'll look. Other than that, delete. Yeah. I don't look at random
Good
emails.
Answer. That one was for Aaron Keel. Hi, Aaron.
Yeah. Be good.
Be good.
Just be good. Train.
All right. I'm going to cut in here. We have one question, and since we didn't have a lot of questions, I'm going to run through and give some shout-outs to the people who wanted to say hi. So we have Chris Scotty, who says it's his first time seeing a live podcast.
Do you remember Chris Scotty?
He's very excited about it.
He played with us.
Yeah, he was technical.
Yeah.
Like technical
Also
freak.
midfielder, offensive midfielder, I think.
Amazing player.
Yeah.
That guy could ball.
Hi, good to see you. Good to hear from you. Gosh, we're talking about decades ago now.
And we have TJ Fisk. He says hi. Matt Cameron, that's my uncle. Thanks for the backhanded compliment, brother. Enda Korean.
Hey, Enda.
She said, great to see you, mate. Tell him hi. Hello. Jennifer Thompson. She says that Coach Rick is amazing. Any child who gets the opportunity to be coached by him is so lucky. Our girls adore him and have learned so much from him.
Well, she obviously knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for the compliment.
Rafael Cortez just wanted to clarify that it's Rafa from Batavia. Go FCB.
All right on, Rafa. Yeah, that's one of my own players. 08. Hey, Rafa. See you tomorrow at practice.
Oh, yeah, school tomorrow. It's only 8:30.
And our last one is from Rylan, texting through Matt's phone. Oh. And then our question is from Greg Johnson.
Gregory. He's a college coach.
He said, so exact camps are good to attend.
he did this. We just talked about this.
Funny.
Flipping Greg.
For coaches, yes. Nah, just kidding.
No, exactly. Exact camp is horrible. It's the worst. I participate. I'll tell you the secrets of exact camp. They're stealing from your children. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's so bad. So I participated in it. I didn't even get paid. I got conned and I went, and it's fake. They're like, make sure these are the kids you're seeing. Make sure you give them kudos and all this stuff, and and all this stuff, and then you have to talk to them, and then you can't be honest. I'm like, I don't work that way. Like, please give me the best, because I'm gonna rip a poor kid, that's thinking that there's an opportunity. You have no shot, and it was so bad. And then we had to email them all, and they give you all these kind of things, like we had to cover all this and basically lie or be honest and never get hired again. So I'm like, I didn't even do it. I'm like, done. I'm like, keep your money. Exact camp. It doesn't matter what I say. There's a new set of suckers every year. You're good. It doesn't matter what Coach Cameron said. I didn't ruin your business. I'm not big enough. And even if I did, you'll still get them. You'll still get college coaches showing up because they're paying them, kind of like a college showcase. They pay them to show up. It's typically their assistant coaches and stuff.
Interesting. I didn't know all that either.
They asked me to go. I'm like, I'm not going no frickin' way. I'm going to stand out there looking at crap soccer all day. It's bad.
Yeah.
They had me running sessions. I'm like, you want me to evaluate and run a set? Well, that's not possible.
It's either or, yeah. Well,
I want my money. $250. So that's why he wanted me to go nuts. He knew I'd go nuts on that one. Anyways.
That's all I have.
If you enjoyed that clip, you can enjoy all the clips at youtube.com/Coach Cameron Soccer to get all my content. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know what's going on and when we appear online, which is typically every Sunday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Hope to see you this Sunday for our next live show.